It's another beautiful day in Johannesburg, and today we are filming from the Idol's house, which is quite fitting considering that our guest is quite an idol herself. She is a multiple SAMA nominee, the musical director and vocal coach for SA's top reality shows such as The Voice and Idols SA, and she happens to be my cousin. Tima Reece, welcome to the show.
Thanks so much for having me.
I'm so happy to have you here, and it's weird that you are only going to be my fourth guest on the show, considering that we're close and you're family, and you should have been first. So if I could do it all over again, you would be number one. But you're here now, we're happy.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you so much for being on the show and for allowing our viewers to get to know you a little bit more intimately. Many people know you as a musician and a vocal coach, but there's a lot of other aspects to you that I want to represent today. So before we start with the Q&A session, tell us a little bit about yourself. Who is Tima Reece?
Tima Reece is the artist persona. Tia Herman is the mother, the wife, the friend, the cousin. So there are different facets obviously to my life. I have to juggle between motherhood, work, career. For my career, I've chosen the stage name Tima Reece. I've been called that since I was 16. And I think as far as Tima Reece is concerned, I'm not only an artist, but I'm also a songwriter, a vocal producer, a musical director, a vocal coach. So it's a lot. It's a lot of work, and it's a lot of different hats to wear.
It's a lot of juggling.
Yeah, it is. But I think I can't complain about it. I've chosen this lifestyle and I've chosen this career, and you make it happen and you make it work.
And you're doing phenomenally well.
Thank you.
I mean, I can't even begin to imagine what it's like to have to be a firstly wife, because that's a full-time job, and then you have to be a mom, and that's another full-time job, and then you've got all these other things in your resume that you have to juggle. What is it like being a mom, and how do you make time for all of it? Like, how often do you get to see your kids? What's a day like in the life of Tia Herman?
In Tia Herman's life. Okay, so I think the most important thing for me was always to prioritize the fact that my kids are my first priority, obviously. We don't juggle my kids around my career, we juggle my career around my kids. So they are the focus.
That's so important.
Yeah, and they're very much a part of our lives, very much a part of our career as well. So, as far as being Tia Herman, the mom is concerned, its first priority is making sure that my kids are loved and cared for, that they have a roof over their heads, that they have food in their stomachs every night, and that they are protected. Once that is working out great, and once that is the priority, everything else just falls into place. They know our lifestyle. They know that we work really hard. They know that there are times where they won't see us coming home in the evenings, but they see us in the mornings. So it is a challenge, but it's not all the time. You know what I mean? Like, there are quiet months where I've got their full attention every single day of the week, 7 days a week, and like in those moments, we thrive on spending a lot of time together. I focus on their homework. I focus on their schooling. And then obviously once we start Idols, it's a 4-month gig.
And then it's really busy.
Yeah, and there's a lot less time spent with them. But I do try and make up for it. When I get home in the evenings, I still check his homework, making sure that Ariel's doing well. I check Levi. In the mornings, we have a little catch-up session. And then, of course, whatever free time I have, it's always spent on the kids.
Dedicated to them.
Yeah.
That's amazing. For the viewers, so Tia and her husband co-own their company called Blueberry Entertainment.
That's right, yeah.
And so whenever Tia's busy, Kurt is just as busy. So, I mean, it's not like you ever kind of have a balance in terms of, okay, one parent can be
That's
when
right.
it gets busy, it gets really busy for both parents. So that's really tough to juggle, but I think you're doing such a good job.
Thank you.
I want to just rewind and play back to when we were little girls.
Yes.
And you were, we're both singers, but I think you had not come to terms, you'd identified the talent at a much younger age.
Yes, I did.
And
in fact, my mom did.
Thanks, Mom. And I remember you singing, and when you sang, not to take any away from your natural, unique, beautiful voice, but when you sang Mariah Carey, your voice was as powerful and soulful as Mariah. And then when you switched over to Tony, it was as husky and deep as Tony Braxton. And then when it was Celine Dion, oh my God. No, don't judge us. Celine was a thing back then, guys.
She's still a thing.
Yeah, she's still a thing. She's a thing.
Sort of.
So Tell us where your love for music began and how it was that you were able to move through different genres and different artists and still remain true to their voices.
I think music has just always been a part of my life. Like, I think once, and you should know, like once you've been given that gift, and God has given a few that gift, not everybody. Music just finds you. You know, you'll always find yourself listening to music or learning music, or somehow you remember a melody from like 20 years ago and it sticks in your subconscious. And you know, as a passion and as a career path, music basically has followed me since childhood. You know, from singing in singing competitions, being a part of festivals and shows, and people inviting me to sing at birthdays and weddings and etc. etc. It's just always been there. You know, it wasn't exactly a conscious thing where I went, I think I want to sing. It was just, that's what I
The
did.
music chose you.
Yeah.
And I remember that you actually entered into the music industry at a very young age. You were a child star. You won Child Road to Fame.
Shout out to fame, yeah.
What was that like?
That was absolutely incredible. I think also, you know, being that young, it's kind of risky when you don't have any mentors or any people that are, you know, trying to help you within the career path and trying to shape you and say, listen, this is what could happen, this is how things can pan out. I think when you're young, you're so impressionable, and everything that happens, you just think, oh, it's going to be amazing.
Yeah.
So we don't we don't set ourselves up for failure,
Yes.
or we don't prepare for failure.
Yes.
And when it does come and when
It
it
hits
hits, it's almost irreparable. It's like you have no idea how to fix it. So going back to music following me everywhere, I think as a singer, I just, you know, I started singing along to your Toni Braxtons, your Mariah Careys, your Celine Dion's, and that helped me a lot with versatility and also with finding my own voice.
Yeah.
Because it's only once you sing other people's music do you eventually find who it is
Who
you
you
want
are.
to be.
Exactly.
And that's basically what happened. It was a natural progression from singing covers to eventually writing my own music and singing.
And I mean, I know you're saying that it was natural. It was really organic. Trust me. Like Faye, well, she's known to me as Faye.
Yes.
She would break out into song randomly. We'd be sitting, all of us on the balcony, and then she'd break out into song. Or we'd be about to have a meal, she'd break out into song. So she was definitely, it was natural and organic. And then I remember a couple of years later, your first single was released called Crazy About You, and the reception was phenomenal.
It was.
It was so great, in fact, that you went on to release your debut album in 2002, which was recorded in NYC, baby.
That's right.
Tell us about that.
So what happened was, as you said, Crazy About You had become a national phenomenon. It was a huge success in South Africa. The record label that I was signed to at that point, the CEO had sent the single through to New York to a company called Strictly Rhythm. And it's weird how it happened, because a lot of record labels, they generally don't listen to music that gets sent to them. You know, unless an A&R sits down and goes, listen, this is an artist I like.
Yeah.
I want to break this artist. They take the time to listen. So, I mean, record labels get 20, 30, 40 CDs a day on their table. And
Yeah,
then for
what are
them
the
to
chances of them actually listening?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Funny enough, the A&R of Strictly Rhythm saw my single on the table and he liked my smile. So he was like, ooh,
Oh,
that's a nice
cute.
smile. You know, and then
Oh my
that's what made him pick up the CD and go, who is this? And then he was like, South Africa, blah, blah, blah. Played the single, and he was like, wait a minute, we can do something with this. Then they contacted the record label in South Africa, and that's how the ball started rolling. It was quite unheard of.
Yes.
Because it never happens like that. So it was quite phenomenal.
Wow. And I know it seems strange, but you are obviously, in terms of alignment and vibration, you were in a good space.
Yeah.
And so you attracted all of that to you. As bizarre as that situation might have been,
Yeah.
it was really all you and your support system and your family and whoever was backing you. So that's amazing.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, you and Kurt then paid up to what is the word?
Co-find?
Yes, but I don't think that's a word.
No, let's make it up.
That's not a
Co-find. Look it up in the dictionary.
Rephrase. English is failing me. You and Kurt started your own company.
That's right.
You're co-founders of the same company, Blueberry Entertainment, and this is actually the company that is behind many major productions on TV at the moment. Tell us how that started and what's happening.
Wow. Okay, so Kurt and I, we met in 2003. instantly drawn to one another. Obviously, chemistry and music and everything.
Was
like
this
that.
on Popstars?
This was after Popstars.
Okay.
So I think he had been out of Popstars for a year, and the band was about to break up, and he was looking for a new venture, and we met and we clicked. Like from day one, we've been together since the day we met.
Wow.
We've never broken up. We've never been apart since day one.
So how many years is that?
16.
Okay, I need to have you back on the show to tell us how to get a relationship to last for 16 years. No gaps, no pauses.
Yeah, it's
That's
quite
amazing.
it's quite amazing. We just clicked, and you know we had come from similar backgrounds, so we both loved music. We were both in the music industry at that point. He had traveled overseas, I had traveled overseas, and it was just like let's join forces and see where this thing goes. It was never like planned, or you know, we just ended up finding ourselves like registering this company, calling it Blueberry. The reason we called it Blueberry is because we found out that blueberries have the highest antioxidants in them. So we were like, we're going to detox the country, we're going to detox the music industry, and we were like, cheesy, but okay. Yeah. So we called it Blueberry, and when we registered the name, Blueberry was taken, so we had to take the E out, and now it looks like blubbery, folding. But yeah, Blueberry Entertainment.
I read Blueberry.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Okay, I'm happy then. And what Blueberry was basically two people coming together, wanting to make a difference in the music business, wanting to have an impact in the music business. And we started off very, very humble. We started off, you know, doing backing vocals for everybody, singing backup, and establishing ourselves as backing vocalists first, and then slowly doors started opening, and that's how we got into Idols. And we've been on Idols for 13 years. You know,
How long has Idols been around?
15.
So you've been around for pretty much the entire
Since
duration
almost the
life.
beginning, yeah.
Wow.
And we progressed from BVs, or backing vocalists. 3 years ago we were asked to become the music directors of the show. And that's how we then ended up taking over the music side. So
Currently you guys are responsible for
all
the music.
the
That's
entire
amazing.
show's music. So from what the artists are singing, to what they perform,
To the beats.
to the beats.
To the vocal
Kurt and
arrangement.
Llewellyn, our other business partner, the two of them create the music. I sit here and I do my coaching. I do vocal direction. I tell the singers what would work, what wouldn't work. And the three of us, we just found a great synergy working together, and it's just been so phenomenal since 3 years ago.
That's so amazing.
Yeah.
I'm glad that you mentioned that you guys come from humble beginnings, because I think a lot of aspiring upcoming artists and business people, because you guys are also business
Yes.
people, is that you want to start and you want to hit the ground running, and you only want to take specific jobs. You don't want to do the small jobs. You know, there's a bit of an ego attached. But the only people that ever really make it huge in life are the ones who are willing to be humble, who start off humble, who are willing to take the small jobs. And I mean, it's worked so well for you, because you guys are literally, I mean, Idols is huge. It's one of the hugest, if not the hugest, reality show in South Africa. So that's amazing. Well done.
It is, and it hasn't been easy. You know, trying to be relevant in the music business, you have to stay on top of things. You have to have everything has to just pan out perfectly. Like your timing has to be perfect.
Yep.
You know, your social media and your active life and everything has to be perfect. And it never is. That's the other thing. It's like we all hope for perfection, but it just never works out that way.
And when it is portrayed that way, I think it's a bit of a facade.
It is.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing. People look at your social media, they look at, like, people will watch this and go, oh, she's the musical director of Idols, blah, blah, blah. It's not glam, guys. It's hard work.
Yeah.
I work from 8 in the morning. I'm here 8 o'clock in the morning. Last night I left at 11 o'clock at night. That's a day. That's one day. And I'm here 7 days a week.
Oh my God.
So that's just to show you the sacrifice.
Yeah.
You know, it's hard work, guys. This whole thing of like becoming a superstar overnight, that is not how it works. If you grind, you work hard, you keep your head down, and like you said, don't say no to work. Don't turn down the gigs. A lot of people are like, oh, that's beneath me.
I'm not going to do that.
We've never done that. Like, we take on whatever, and we will help whoever. You know, there's no such thing as, oh, sorry, no, you don't have the bags, or you don't.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. For us, it's about pouring into the next generation, which we do with the Idols. And outside of Idols, it's exactly the same. So
And I think it speaks to your integrity as a person, and obviously that filters into your business, which is amazing. So it's bound to be successful because you started off with integrity and you maintain that throughout. So
that's the one thing we thrive ourselves on and pride ourselves on, is just to make sure that we are always honest, and integrity is like, it's fundamental for any business.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So after you guys started the company, it was quiet in terms of Tima Reece for a while.
Yes.
And then 2016.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years. Everyone's like, oh, Tima Reece has come back. I'm like,
I didn't go anywhere.
I wasn't gone, actually. But
she was nurturing her craft.
I was gathering content.
Yes.
That's what I was doing.
Which is very important, because you need to stay relevant, and when you come up with that album, you need to make sure that it's power, which is exactly what your album 9 was.
Thank you.
I remember when you released the visuals for your the debut song on the album 9.
The sneak peeks.
I was like, oh my god, I need to go for lessons. It was amazing. And now I know that you've got all the resources, and there's no doubt about your talent. Can we expect another album or an EP or a single in the near future?
In fact, my hubby and I were talking about it last week. He was saying, look, we're coming to the end of Idols now. Then we do AIG, and then next year, like from Jan, he's like, you're going to have free time. What you going to do?
Nice.
And that basically means you're doing another album.
Yeah.
That's what he's actually trying to say. So yeah, I'll be working on a new album next year. I'm not sure what it's called yet. I'm not sure about anything yet. I haven't written one song, but there's a lot on the inside of me, and I'm ready.
Needs to be expressed.
Yeah.
Well,
absolutely.
We are dying. You need to give us the scoop as soon as you know when, what, how.
You'll
you
be
need
the
to let us
first to
know
know,
at Good Girls Didn't Get the Memo.
You'll get the memo. Don't worry.
Oh, thank you. And I will share the memo with you. Babe, thank you so much for chatting to us and for allowing the viewers to get to know you more intimately. There are many levels to you, and I'm sure that as we continue, we'll unravel even more and more. We wish you all the best along your venture in the music industry, and as a mom and a wife. And to the rest of you, thank you for subscribing once again. I'd just like to say a quick thank you to Tia at MAC Cosmetics Always for giving me the beat of my life, to The Fix for styling me, and to Cassette Productions for capturing these moments and bringing them to life. Please do stay tuned, subscribe, tell your mama, your auntie, your cousin, your brother, everybody, as we bring you more content that counts.